from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time for a visit to someplace we've never been together before. And a matter of fact, a place I'm not sure I've ever visited before. It'll be friendly, it'll be lulling, and it'll just be barely interesting enough to take your mind off stuff and put you to sleep. By the way, welcome to Sleep With Me if you're new, or welcome back if you're coming back. I'm so glad you're here. This is a podcast to be a friend in the deep, dark night, to keep you company, to take your mind off of stuff so you could fall asleep or at least feel comforted. Maybe even bring you some sleepy, joyous delight in the deep, dark night. So in the short, well, there's nothing short here, but my version is I'm just here to hang out with you and to talk for your benefit about something you could listen to, but you don't need to listen to. So if you're new, just try the show out a couple times. It doesn't work for everybody. It's a different idea. Well, I've been doing it a long time. And, I'm kind of like your bedtime companion. If you say, as long as you stay over there on the other side of the room. Or could you, be my companion, but walk. And I say, believe me, I'll be walking. But you want me to walk in front of you or behind you? Or, at your side, but not next to you, like 10 feet away, chat, whatever it is. I'm glad you're here. And, just give the show a few tries, see if it works. And if you're new, what we got coming up is support. That is optional, or not even optional. You don't need to support the show if you're new. It's really for the people that listen all the time. Then there's a long, meandering intro meant to ease you into bedtime. And then later on, we'll be talking about an episode of Deep Space Nine. Never covered it on the podcast before. We're just doing this one episode as a part of a kind of themed series of different Star Trek projects. So, I'm glad you're here. And, really appreciate you coming by. And if you listen on a regular basis, this podcast has changed your life, continues to change your life for the better. If you could consider supporting one of these sponsors or supporting the show, I'd be so thankful. Thanks. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. And I don't know if you've taken the quiz yet at helixsleep.com/sleep, but I have my Helix at home. I love my Helix because it's fit for how I sleep and my sleep and feel preferences. But I'm looking at getting another Helix. So this summer, there's a cabin I'm going to be staying at, so I can have a bed that fits how I sleep. And maybe you should have a bed that fits your needs, right? Whoever, has your mattress ever asked you, hey, tell me more about your needs and your feel preferences. What would make you comfortable? Well, that's why you got to take this Helix quiz. The Helix Sleep Quiz matches you with the perfect mattress based on your personal preferences and sleep needs. It makes buying a mattress easy. And Helix is the most awarded mattress brand. It's tested and reviewed by experts like Forbes and Wired. There's free shipping and seamless delivery right to your door with free shipping in the U.S. They have the Happy with Helix guarantee, so you can rest easy with seamless returns and exchanges. The Happy with Helix guarantee offers a risk-free, customer-first experience designed to ensure you're completely satisfied with your new mattress. There's a 120-night sleep trial and a lifetime limited warranty. And Helix helps you sleep better. A study they ran found 82% of those involved saw an increase in their deep sleep cycle while sleeping on a Helix mattress. And oh boy, do they have a great sale for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep for 27% off site-wide during their Memorial Day sale now through May 31st. This offer is exclusive for listeners of Sleep With Me. That's helixsleep.com/sleep for this exclusive offer. 27% off site-wide. Make sure you enter our show name after checkout so they know we sent you. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. Everybody's Scoots just running through who's been signing up. Why would someone support a free podcast, right? And I've listed the people why, that are good reasons not to support the show, good reasons that are, but why really? And this is one of the main whys people have been telling me. Man, I would miss this show if it was gone. I would miss you if you weren't the host. I didn't know something like this could exist, and I'm not sure I could replace it, and I wouldn't want to replace this show. There's not anything else like this that I've been able to find, and now I'm realizing, like, of course this show needs my support. It's a huge part of my life. It's made my life a lot better. It's made my days better. But yeah, I would miss this show terribly if it was gone. And then they just go right in the moment. They don't wait till tomorrow. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And they sign up. They set up the bonus content a day or two from now. But right now they're hearing all that and they're like, yeah, I want that relief. I don't want to think about the show going away. I would miss the show. I do know it needs my support. And I'm one of the people who can support the show. If that's you, join all those other people. Help us keep this podcast going. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Thanks. Oh, Mystery Bart, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bart. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcript.
Thanks, Mr. Bard. If you some of these messages rang true for you, but you're not in a position to financially support the show, let people know about the podcast. Give them your honest experience with the show, how you discovered it, how you like to listen, and how it helps. Spread the word, and let me know about it so I can say thanks. Send me a message through our website or on social media. That's a huge, huge way to help the show. You could still be a part of this thing and helping us keep it going just by letting somebody else know about the podcast. Thanks, and what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever is keeping you awake. That could be thoughts or thoughts on your mind about the past, present, the future, things you're thinking about, or thoughts that are just appearing, feelings related to those thoughts, or feelings that are just there. It could be physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. You could be going through something. You could be getting over something, in the middle of something. Maybe work a different schedule. Whatever it is, I'm glad you're here. And what am I saying? The only reason I kind of talk about some of that stuff is so you get the idea that, I'm here. I'm really here to kind of because I've been there. And that's the only reason I kind of list some of that stuff, is so you know. Ideally, you'll feel at least a little bit seen and understood. Even if we can't obviously do, you may say, listen, Scoots, I don't know if you can totally understand why I'm here. I said, well, maybe I could connect to some of the deeper feelings. But even if I can't, the good news is that there's enough people listening right now, that there's someone listening somewhere in the world who's been in a similar place to whatever it is that brought you here, that really does understand why you're here. And not only that, they're glad you're here. They're like, wow, this podcast helped me when I thought nothing would. So I hope it can help you. But they're so glad you're here because even the show helping you is kind of optional. They're like, well, even if the podcast doesn't help, that you get the sleep you need and that the show introduces you to something that helps you fall asleep. But they're rooting for you. There's people around the world, people that are dealing with the same thing you're dealing with, or they came here for a similar reason. And there's people going through stuff that's totally different. But there's regular listeners and occasional listeners, and this is the part of the show that they look forward to kind of passively participating in or actively participating in, whatever they're comfortable with, because they get to think fondly of people around the world who kind of deal with the same things they deal with at bedtime, and to send you however you want to call it, good vibes, positive energy, well wishes. They're somewhere in the world rooting for you, that you get the sleep you need and you deserve so that your life is more manageable tomorrow, and that you could get the sleep you need and deserve on a regular basis. And maybe you could be out there in the world flourishing. And they're genuinely, like, just like I am, we're genuinely rooting for you. Like, if you could get the sleep you need on a regular basis and be out there in the world flourishing, that's awesome, right? That's a win for the entire world. And you're welcome to join in that if you're a regular listener, or you're new, or you're welcome to receive that from all the listeners that are sending it out right now. And I just get to be the kind of mouthpiece for it. But that's really the most important part of the show. You deserve a nice bedtime that you don't have to dread, that doesn't have rigmarole. You deserve some rest, and you deserve some of this kindness of, we're not strangers here either. That's the kind of phrase, the kindness of strangers or something. Because we're not strangers. On the inside, we all get it. Because while we all get what it's like in the deep, dark night, even if it's a little bit different for each one of us, we're all glad you're here. I guess is the way, the way of over-explaining it. And the way this show works is I send my voice across the deep, dark night. I use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents. So I go off topic, and then I get mixed up. Then I forget what I was talking about. Then I repeat myself. My voice is not traditionally soothing. And when you get here, you're probably, if you're new or you're coming back after a while, you're probably going to be skeptical, doubtful. What is this? Is this person just going to talk nonsense for an hour? Well, it's not exactly nonsense. It's similar. So if you're new and you feel like that, or you're like, what is happening here? That's a pretty normal thing. I mean, why wouldn't you be skeptical or doubtful? If you're anything like me or a lot of other listeners, you probably tried a ton of different stuff to help you fall asleep. And it hasn't been easy, right? So all I could tell you is what probably over 1 million people have emailed me about over the past 13 years, which is that when they first got to the show, they didn't like it, or they were like, I don't know about this. It's not what I expect. I thought this was a sleep podcast. This doesn't seem sleepy. How come it doesn't have any bells or ringing, or why are you talking to me like a friend instead of kind of talking to me in some ethereal manner? And, you know, they say Scootsy does not move in ethereal ways. He's not even sure he knows what he probably gets his ethereal and translucent mixed up. And I'd say, yeah, they're like, I think they mean different things, but, yeah, they kind of feel similar. Okay, you got me. But, I mean, I don't know. I've rarely run out of things to say when it comes to, but I said, well, yeah. One day I'm not striving to move in ethereal ways. But, I mean, that could be something I hope for at some point in this existence or some other existence. And they say now, like that would be like, maybe you could, like, now he moves in ethereal ways. And maybe that's like the kind of one of those things where, yeah, well, I don't even move at all. When I move in ethereal ways, am I moving? I don't know. But like when I'm meandering, holy cow, this is one of those tangents that we're talking about ethereal stuff, but we're stuck in a ovular logic. And this is why I'm like a lot of people when they get here, they're not sure about the show. So that's normal. So just give it a few tries and see how it goes. You really have nothing to lose at all. And hopefully it helps you out. But if it doesn't help you out, you discover you don't like the show or it doesn't help you, I have a website set up. Even if you've discovered it now already, like you're like, yeah, no, I don't like you or the pod. That's fine. I have a website set up, sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. Because you still deserve a good night's sleep. Everything I set up to this point still applies to you, whether you, even if you have a strong disliking towards me or we're just not a fit. I still want you to get a good night's sleep. So try some of the other stuff at sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. But otherwise, stick around, see how it goes. For regular listeners, that's what happened. 2 or 3 times into the show, said, oh, he really does mean that he wishes when he grows up he could be someone that moves in ethereal ways. But he doesn't also know what that is. He's also he wouldn't mind moving in mysterious ways. But he kind of does move in mysterious ways with the podcast. Is that here's a tip for a giant corporation. Just putting it out. I do put a lot of free ideas out for giant corporations. I would love to be, this could be a collab, I think, between you and you two. But what was it? Like, and I forgot what it was, though. Oh, bummer. Oh, no, there it is. Because you have that thing, Waze, right? So could you have a mode? I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a great mode for drive, like turn on mysterious ways, activate. Well, they do have that in that other car because my brother drives one. And one time he had Tron mode on or something. So maybe you could do it there. Like, or maybe you've already done it. Turn on mysterious ways. And then you could just have, like, them sing it, like, when you go, sing the directions. I don't think this is one of my ideas that's not terrible. Like, yeah, activate mysterious ways. So, I don't know if the companies, I don't know if you two and you are a match, because I don't know anything, that's where I'm not an expert. But it just seems to make sense. How come, I'm probably not the first person to think about it. They said, yes, because we did that 14 years ago. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably, makes sense. It was a great idea when you did it. Okay, what was I saying? How did I get on to mysterious ways? Most people don't like the show. Give it a few tries, see how it goes. But then you're mysteriously... If it works for you, it kind of works like that. You're like, oh, wait a second. I fell asleep last night listening to him. And what was he talking about? I don't know. Mystery to me. Like he does mysteries? No, he doesn't strike me as the kind of person that could solve very many mysteries. So maybe not. I don't know. I just fell asleep. I think he was talking about... I don't remember. You look like you got a great night. Oh, thanks, son. Thanks, you look great too. Love you lots. So that's the idealized version of what happens the morning after listening to the podcast on your third or fourth try when it finally works. But it does. I've got a lot of emails like that. So the other thing is, this is a podcast you don't really listen to. You kind of just barely listen. It's a little bit like elevated background noise, a TV on in the other room, a show streaming under your pillow. And, that takes some getting used to, right? It's like a roommate who's talking for your benefit, but you don't have to pay attention to them. Sand passing through your hands, out of focus picture. Something you could listen to, but you don't need to listen to. And then this is a podcast, a sleep podcast. I'm not here to put you to sleep. There is no pressure to fall asleep with this show. That's the reason the episodes are over an hour. That's the reason this show comes out, and the 3 different kinds of episodes come out every single week. And we have like 600 plus show episodes you could choose from, so that you don't have to worry about falling asleep. There's people listening who can't sleep at all, who need a break during the day, who are waking up in the middle of the night, who need something to listen to while they work, or they listen on a regular basis. So I'm here to keep you company whether you're awake or asleep. I'm here to the very end for those people who can't sleep at all, whether it's long-term or just situational in the deep, dark night. I'm here to keep you company in the deep, dark night. But to be mildly distracting so you don't feel like you have to listen to me if you don't need to. Like, because my job is to be your bore friend, your bore bae, your bore sib, your bore bud, your bore bruh, your bore cuz, your bore bee, your neighbor, your boreman, your Boris Borloff, your chairman of the boards, your best bore friend forever, to just keep you company and hang out with you while you fall asleep. Kind of like an on-demand like ideally I'm more than an acquaintance to you, but I'm a friend. You don't feel like you say, well, he's like, I like being around Scoots, but also it's a low pressure situation, I guess is what I'm saying. The other thing I like to explain, just in case you're new, is the structure of the show, because it can really throw new people off. And that's okay if it's okay. I'll explain it to you, and you could just see if you listen 2 or 3 times if it's a fit. If not, that's fine too. So the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in. Maybe I say something silly, you say, oh, okay, I'll check it out. Then there's support, so the paying for the show is optional. Like, the show could be like part of a subscription-only service, or only have 4 episodes available. Everything else you got to pay for, or something like that. But it wouldn't benefit the most amount of people it can. And it wouldn't be around for people to sample lots of episodes to see if it helps. So the support and the people that support the show are what make that possible. But you don't have to support the show if you're new or you only listen to once in a while. You get to benefit from that. But yeah, the support messages obviously make that possible. Then after the support, totally separate from the support, is a show within a show we call the intro. And we're probably like 15 minutes into the intro now. It's usually somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes long, where I try to introduce what the podcast is. It takes me 15 to 20 minutes to introduce something that could be introduced in 2 or 3 minutes. I mean, by somebody else. I don't think I could do it. Or I could do it once and repeat the intro. But the intro is designed to be familiar but new every time, so that it's reassuring, but that whatever part of you keeps you awake has something new every time. I don't know. It's just one of the things that I've found with me personally is variety and unpredictability, but with reassurance works. Like this will be dated by the time it comes out, but I'm reading our friend of the podcast, Stephen Fishback, aka Stevie B's book, and I'm a little bit more than halfway through, and the only reason is because I have dyslexia and I read on a Kindle. I can see my progress. Well, I guess if you were reading a regular book, you'd know you're halfway through about 2. And I do not know where it's going. I'm really enjoying it, but I'm like, wait a second. Where's it's at the pretty close to the midpoint where it can go in almost any direction. And I don't know where it's going. And I read that at bedtime. And because I don't know where it's going, it helps me like wind down, or makes me look forward to reading it. And I already feel close to the characters and stuff like that. So because it's a well-written book. So that's Escape by Stephen Fishback. This is a plug of something I like. But that's like something I strive for with the show in a different way, so that whatever it is that's keeping you awake, just like some part of, if you're reading something you don't enjoy, and you're like, well, I still got to finish it. I've been there before, and maybe I'm maybe not looking forward to bedtime as much, or if there's something repetitive you had to read. So I don't know. That's why the intro is different. But the reason the intro is 15 and 20 minutes long is also to ease you into bedtime, not to put you to sleep. So it's meant to help you wind down and have a break between the day and falling asleep to ease you into bedtime. So some people, it's just not meant to put you to sleep. There's a percentage of people that do fall asleep. We do ask, if you do fall asleep fast, consider supporting the show, because you're a paradoxical listener. Or is it whatever? But anyway, not important. But for most people, they're winding down in bed, getting comfortable, getting ready for bed, or doing some other chill activity. And the intro is kind of the time when we hang out and like a sleepover or something right before we go to bed, to kind of lower the volume on the day. Now, if you decide you like the show, but you don't like the intros, don't worry. We have a podcast with just the stories from the shows called Bedtime Stories from Sleep with Me. And that's also listener and sponsor supported in every podcast app. Or if you support the show directly, you get every episode when it comes out in a story-only version too. But for most listeners, like I said, the majority of people listen to these shows linearly. And so the intro eases them into bedtime, and then some point during the story, they fall asleep. Or, they're just listening, or they re-listen to episodes, or then you get into kind of the micro behaviors, like 30-minute sleep time, or 45-minute sleep time, or 60-minute sleep time, or stuff like that. But yeah, so, that was the whole reason we started the story-only versions, was I saw statistically, that maybe 20% of people started the show at the story. So I said, okay, we'll just put story-only versions out. And based on feedback, too. But that's what the intro does, ease you into bedtime, and we all hang out together indirectly. Then after the intro will be support again, so paying for the show's optional. It's only for the most rebellious people that would pay for a free podcast. They rebel they say, this makes my life so great, I'm going to rebel and pay for it, or support a sponsor. And then, after that, we'll be talking about an episode of Deep Space Nine, kind of in this kind of lightly themed season of Trek we've been doing in 2026 here. Then what else? Then later on, then the episode will end. Yeah, I'll be talking about that, and we'll be here a bit over an hour. And I'm so glad you're here, particularly tonight's episode. It'll be sleepy, but I was really, I guess, flabbergasted in a good way. This episode, the quality of the show shone through in this episode. Maybe I've seen one Deep Space Nine episode before, but in passing. This one I was, riveted by everything. It was, some was greater than the whole or whatever. So really cool to be talking about it. And I'm sure I'll come up with, so it won't sound, you'll be like, that's a recap, and that wasn't the same episode. Yeah, no, that's what I do here. So I'm really glad you're here. If this is your first time or you're like 5,000th time you've listened to an episode, couldn't do it without you. And if you decide these podcasts make your life so much better that you want to support it back, like putting, water in the garden or whatever, these are the ways you could do so. Either supporting a sponsor or supporting the show directly. Here are the ways. Thanks. Hey, everybody, this is Scoots, and I'm trying to run through these messages of why people support the show now. We talked about, who doesn't need to support the show, who could, but who is supporting the show, and why would someone support a free podcast? And there's three kind of main They're all similar. So put yourself in this person's shoes. Maybe this is you, and maybe you're the person that'll support the show tonight. Because the first thing they do is they say, oh, Scooter has been talking to me. I can support the show. I want to support the show. I've just been kind of putting it off. And now I'm hearing that the show really does need my support. I'm going to support the show right now. And then they go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus right now. They did it last night or the night before. And they sign up to support the show because I know the show needs my support. I've just been waiting for the perfect time. Well, now's the perfect time. I'm going to do it. If that's you, sign up right now. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Don't wait. You could set up the bonus content tomorrow or a day or two. But if you're hearing me right now and you're like, yeah, I am the one. I can support the show and I want to. And I can't replace this podcast with something else. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Everybody, this is Scoots here, and this is the first time I believe we've covered, and I think I referred to it earlier, that this is the first time I've definitely deep watched an episode of Deep Space Nine. I think I've probably seen episodes in the past, but not paid close attention to them. And podcast aside, this could be my new kind of comfort watch. I mean, this is where I wish I had unlimited time and ability to pay attention and not think about all the stuff I got to do, because I could really, I don't know. I guess that's my way of saying I really, really enjoyed this episode. And not only that, I think we got really lucky. So if you've never seen Deep Space Nine, I guess technically it's a Star Trek spinoff. I don't even know I know nothing about it, so I'm coming to it with fresh eyes. And so if you're coming to it with fresh eyes, I mean, I know it's a space station. Apparently it's in deep space, a Space Station 9 in deep space, maybe. There are things referred to that I don't know about, and beings or groups referred to that I know nothing about. And so if you're in a similar situation, I would say start with this episode, because it references a lot of things. There's a lot of characters, but it only focuses on a few, or two characters, or maybe a third or fourth tertiary character that we're familiar with. And it's really well plotted and really enjoyable. And but I didn't feel lost or confused. Like there was just enough exposition. I said, okay, I have a general idea of what they're referring to, so I can understand everything that's happening in the episode. Well, I might not have a grasp of the whole underlying thing. I got the general idea. So let's get to it. It starts out, let me do one more thing, which is like, there's going to be one more episode after this. Again, another series I haven't watched. We're unable to take requests just because we work on shows so far out. Like by the time you're hearing this episode, I may be working episodes for late 2025. So this is early 2025 when I'm working on shows for the spring of 2025. But I do have one more episode picked out, and they're kind of based on this broad theme of research I was doing, which was based on research I was doing for the series Get Bezos. And, if you're big into this, if you're on the Sleep With Me Plus Discord or following any of the community tabs there, we could talk about it more. If you're like, I can try to find a way, maybe film a video if people are more interested. It's not super interesting, but it was a small diversionary rabbit hole I went down as I was trying to do basic research for Get Bezos. So I'm going to go into this. I mean, I've watched this episode multiple times, but I'm going to go into it with fresh eyes. And I'm going to stick close where the grapes of Con episode, I kind of made it more silly and dreamy. Like, let's just kind of see. Or maybe I'll ask what kind of questions, because I kept learning more. But the episode starts off with this delightful gentleman with an English accent, or I could be incorrect, space accent. And he's loading stuff onto his pad. And he does thank someone that works in the care industry. And he's getting ready to go somewhere, present a paper at a conference. And someone's like, where are you going? And so this is like, it starts off lighthearted, and it refers to Risa, which I believe was where there was a TNG episode, and that was where, or it was constantly referred to as Riker like to go there. But I don't know, did Picard go there on like Captain's Holiday? Or Casperia Prime. It's like, where do you go? Like, so someone's saying, oh, these conferences, they're not really for work. It's really a vacation. And they say, like, always at sunny resorts, And he says, yeah, it's not really a break, though. It's actually, I'm going to be working. Then who comes in? But Miles O'Brien, which is one thing I knew that both Worf and O'Brien, I mean, I'd forgotten. I'd forgotten, no offense, Worf. I'd forgotten Worf was on Deep Space Nine. But I had remembered O'Brien from some other research. And he's in at first I thought it was a bicycling, and I think this is the right word, get up, but it's not. It's kind of what you'd expect to see someone like in the Tour de Mons or whatever they call it. But when you look at it a little bit closer, as I am paused, you could see that maybe it's more of a wetsuit, because he says, yeah, I was kayaking and I got a little bruise, and Bashir, old Doc Bashir, he says, hey, didn't I tell you not to go paddling? And he goes, oh, I love to paddle. The river calls to me. And he goes, yeah, you needed a rest from paddling. And O'Brien goes, oh, yeah. And he helps O'Brien, and he says, please just ignore the calls of the river for a while. I'm your friend. I don't know, you get a good idea or sense of that he's caring. He's got a good rapport with it. Like, first there's a joking rapport, then there's a caring rapport with some lighthearted joking with his crew members. And he says, thanks, Julian. Have a good time on Casperia. It's not a vacation. I'm working. And no paddling while I'm gone. And again, interesting storytelling, as we'll see later. Then we see the outside of the space station, which was cool. And there's a ship parked there. And then Julian... Bashir's, alarm goes off late. At first, I was like, is he going to miss his flight or something? It was 700 hours, 11 seconds. He's very tired, and he's getting up, but he's not late, though it seemed like it. And he refers to something maybe that helps you wake up, like coffee. I thought he said frappuccino. And I said, it's on it. Then he's packing for his trip. He's got 3 pads, 1 outfit, I think. I guess that's a good thing about uniforms. I wonder if these uniforms are self-cleaning. Oh, also, he has a teddy bear, which I'm sure this is like season 6, episode 18. So I'm sure the teddy bear maybe has come up before, but... Again, the writers are laying out some groundwork, too. And for regular watchers, maybe something familiar, reminding of other story. But also, even this late in the season for someone new like me, very interesting. And I think this is like how maybe these long-running syndicated series that now are, in a sense, syndicated on streaming. But, you know, a lot of times on streaming, you're watching things in order. When these shows used to be on, you did not watch them in order. They would just come on. But believe it or not, there was a time before digital DVRs or even before platter DVRs where you just had to watch what you watched. And I think this is very similar to what I learned from Scott Aukerman in listening to him of like, remember, it's somebody's first time listening to your podcast. And I think that's another thing they probably keep in mind. Maybe not. But I would say this is a good point of it is because characters revealed through this. He's got a teddy bear. Because he's a little bit snarky. I like him maybe because he's like immediately to like, I mean, I guess because he's the main focus of the episode, but I don't know. It adds a layer to that. So if it's your first time, like it was for me, you say, oh, okay, this guy's got a teddy bear. Interesting. You know, he's very buttoned up, I think. Maybe not buttoned up, but, very well put, seemingly well put together gentleman. I mean, I know nothing about him, so I could be wrong, but he has a teddy. The point is, he has a teddy bear, and it's a well-worn teddy bear. And again, if you want to spend time contemplating, it's like, well, is it his? Is it from an adventure or whatever? But he says he talks. Oh, also he talks to the teddy bear. So he says, see you soon, old chum. And then right as he gets ready to go, they get called to the office. Captain Sisko, or Commander Sisko, they say, officers meeting, get over here. He's yawning. He's still yawning on the turbo lift, and he's got to catch a shuttle. And there's a meeting. O'Brien is stiff, and he says, I don't know what the meeting's about. And this is, okay, this is not a social visit. Where's the captain? He's meeting with somebody in there. He's not happy. There's also two other people standing outside. And then the captain comes out with this dude. And the captain says, all right, this is Deputy Director Solon. He's in charge from the Federal Council. He's looking into something. Full cooperation. And the guy's totally lit in a way compared to the captain where you're like, okay, this guy's not to be, there's something happening. His face is just lit in an interesting way. And he says, yeah, someone's been telling secrets. And then someone, like, just like I would, they said, do you know a secret? Like from Barbie, a fairy tale secret? And he says, not that kind of secret. The kind of secret you tell to the Dominion that they're not supposed to know about. So that's the first thing for me. It's like, ooh, this Dominion sounds like someone Barbie would be trying to work. You know, Barbie would trying to keep secrets. Barbie could probably keep secrets from the Dominion. These are from the Barbie animated movies that I've seen quite a few times. I don't know if Bibble, is it Bibble? Yeah, it's Bibble. Interesting that Bibble rhymes with Tribble. But anyway, this has nothing to do with Barbie or a fairy tale. Is it fashion fairy Barbie a fairy secret? Is that really? Because there's fashion fairy tale, but that doesn't have anything to do with the fairy secret. I think it is. Okay, so then he says, with all due respect, oh, somebody says, what are you talking about? No one here spreads rumors to the Dominion. And this guy says, well, we got to follow procedures. Everybody's got to go to the room and stay in the room. Confined to quarters, Captain Sisko says. Nobody likes it. I'll be in touch shortly. I'm going to interview everybody, this Solon guy says. And you can't talk to each other. Go to your rooms. How long is this going to take? Oh, well, you won't be making your conference, Doc Bashir. We told him you're not coming. Oh, great. And then he has his two assistants say, take them to the rooms. And the guy, he's got quite a hard stare. How many? We got 6 officers. That's their first break where the show starts. Oh, then we see he's pacing around his room. We get a view of the carpet there. In his room, and it's two different, not just two different colors, but two different styles of rug, wall to wall. Makes sense on a starship. He's got something like fresh flowers, like a very modern-esque wall sculpture, coffee table, way more roomy. Like he has multiple rooms, I guess because it's a space station. His hands are behind his back. He's kind of looking around. You can tell he's like, man, this is not entertaining. Then he's hungry, so he orders breakfast from his replicator. Doesn't work. He even tries please. No replication. The replicator's not working. And all of a sudden there's a ring at his door. And, oh no, not yet. He goes to get out stuff to do. He drops like a pencil or something, or some sort of pencil under his couch. This was the only thing that confused me about all of this, because there is a bit of time taken to show it running under the couch, and then him trying to get it from under the couch. I think it's just to set up a small thing that they do better with another way. But anyway, he's trying to get it from under the couch when his door opens. And one of the assistants says, hey, come with me, doctor. Time for your interview with Mr. Solon. He goes, oh, yeah, I'm trying to get something out from under my couch. Sorry. I'll go with you. And he even kind of bows. I don't think he was, and he goes, where are we going? Oh, the Dr. Sloan's temporary office. And then we see somebody running through the halls, which is interesting because it never comes up again. Huh, that is interesting. I don't think that ever came up again. But there's some running in the hallway. He says, what's going on? She says, don't worry about it. She's got like a mustard yellow undershirt where Bashir has like a light, like a teal green. And then the Solon's got a red. And he's sitting cross-legged, reading a pad, playing casual, sitting at a conference table. And he says, hey, bud, have a seat. Julian, Dr. Bashir, what should I call you? Sorry you're going to miss that conference, bud. Then he sits on the table next to, has Julian sit down. Sorry about this. It's all technicality. But the last conference you went to, the Dominion wanted you to visit them without permission. And he goes, yeah. He goes, 5 weeks you were visiting Dominion without being asked, huh? What was that like? He goes, not great. There was a report about it, so I don't need to talk about it. And that guy, you could already tell, he's like, oh man, that would have been so hard on me, And Julian says, you'd have done fine. You seem nice enough. The guy goes, yeah, I was just reading about it. I was reading that report. He goes, I realized you worked with you worked on some cutting edge stuff with cutting edge people. That people that were, not feeling welcome, and you made them feel welcome. Starfleet didn't think that was possible. And Julian says, yeah, I'm different too. Like, I've gone through an experience that's changed me. But that's my job, to make people feel welcome. It's part of a doctor's job. And this guy goes, oh, I wish I would have done that. Considered it. And Julian says, you got a good bedside manner, man. And he goes, I thought you were going to come in here and give me the, be more stern. You had a stern look on your face earlier. And he goes, oh, no, go ahead. You could leave. Anything else? Yeah, my replicator's not working. I'm hungry. And he says, okay, we'll bring you something. What would you like? And he's very specific. He's scones and jam and tea, I think is what he orders. Let's see. Well, in that case, you want something? Replicator shut down so nobody can talk to anybody. And, communications or anything else. Well, I was going to have breakfast. And he goes, yeah, I'll send it right up. Buttered scones, moba jam, and red leaf tea. All right, I'll write it down, bud. He's very happy, this Solon. And he goes, oh, wait, one more thing. Did Starfleet ask you to work with those people who needed some comfort, or did you volunteer? Volunteered to help them. Oh, okay, interesting. Bye. And Julian goes off. Then we zoom on the guy's face. He's not, Then we go back. Another good character revealing thing. 11:23 into the show. Julian's sitting on his couch, and he's really bored. He's like just playing with his hands, waiting for his food. And this is like typical behavior. He's about to lie down and take a nap, and his doorbell rings. He says, oh, come on in. And one of the assistants brings him his food. He's like, oh, man, I've been waiting. Now it's lunchtime. This is breakfast. And he opens it up, and it's gack, which is something that Worf or gack, I think. That's something Worf eats. Level 327. Let's see let me rewind that. Get Worf. If anybody wants to know what Worf's room is, it's coming up here. Level 3, Section 27, Room 19, Lieutenant Commander Worf. And he doesn't do anything about it, which I think was interesting because it's like, man, you're supposed to, you got to have breakfast. So he goes back and sits on the couch. Worf's eating my scones. Bummer. And then he realizes his bag, something's off about his bag, like somebody was looking in his bag. And then he goes under the couch to get his pen. And he's looking for it. And he finds it, but he looks at it in a strange way. But I guess it's just one more clue. Then he says, was somebody in my bag? And he taps his pen and he notices his teddy bear, who's always sitting up, to look at his papa, is on his side. Then he gets a call on his, FaceTime from O'Brien. He said, O'Brien, they told you not to call anybody. And even Julian says, Miles, what's up? We're not supposed to talk. Oh, yeah, but what's going on with you? Somebody's been in my room messing with my teddy bear. What about you? Well, it's fine. How about you? How did your interview go? Fine. How about yours, Miles? 2 hours. They're just asking me questions about you. About me, Julian says. Yeah, they want to know everything. And then he goes, they're going to check this. It's like, yeah, no, come on, bro, Brian. Of course, you don't think they're going to know you called him? Now, I think this is all part, again, there's a little bit of the ending I didn't quite understand every time I watched it, but maybe I'll understand it better this time. But I said, is that O'Brien? Or was it just a fake call from O'Brien? Then the assistants come. They say, Julian, we need you back in the interview room. He actually bumps his plant, which I can't tell. He has an office and a living room, I think. Now he's concerned. And he's like, wait a second, I'm concerned. So then they go into the office. This is another interesting choice. The guy says, how's your breakfast? He goes, fine, it was good. Which I said, no, I would not. I mean, I guess I'm not as generous as this guy. I would have been yelling at my door, yo, this is Worf's breakfast. And I would have told this guy, no, I'll talk, but you're going to have to give me a snack or something. So me and the Solon would not have got along at all. And then they go back and forth. And then this guy, he's kind of messing with Miles. He says, okay, so you were at 371 in the Dominion, Barrack 6, 5 weeks, 37 days. You positive 37 days? Yeah. Martok was with you, right? Yeah. And this is a Jem'Hadar. Did they take you for a walk to a new room? Yeah, because I said that I didn't appreciate. Oh, it was about rations, yeah. And you sure you didn't talk to anybody or tell any secrets during that time? Yeah. You had a private room? Yeah. Were you in your room in private? It's a private room. And he goes, are you sure you didn't meet with anybody else and discuss everything the Dominion would want to know about the, you sure it wasn't 5 days or 7 days? And Julian says 5 days. He goes, no, I heard it was 7 from Martok. No, it's 5, but, he could have remembered 7. We were there for a while, and it wasn't great, so we weren't, used to be living there. Oh, so he wasn't telling the truth? No, I didn't say that. I said, he may have misremembered because time passes. And then he goes, oh, so then the two of you figured out an improvisational way to leave the Dominion and head home. Huh, you really? How'd you do that? Ingenuity, collaboration, brainstorming. Oh, okay. So then you just left. Your ship was still in its parking spot. Yeah. Why would they leave your ship in your parking spot if you, were the keys in it? Yeah. I mean, these ships don't have keys, but the equivalent of keys, yes. Well, why would they do that? Well, they thought we were staying there, so why would we go get our car if we were staying there? Huh. Why do you think they let you be ingenious and collaborate and brainstorm to leave? Are you sure? I don't know if you guys are really that good at any of those 3 things. Maybe they allowed you to do that? No. Okay, well, have you ever seen this movie? It's been done so many times, it's kind of like a trope now where you're telling secrets, but you don't realize you're telling secrets. Like you tell them in your sleep, like sleep talking secrets. Have you heard that movie? Yeah, I've heard of that genre of storytelling, yeah. Well, yeah, don't you know that the Jem'Hadar and all them, they're good at that. They get people to talk in their sleep, secrets they're not supposed to tell. Do you talk in your sleep, Julian? No. I don't know. I think you do. You just don't remember. How would you know? No one ever told me I did? Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't ever remember. Don't you wake up talking every once in a while? I've had a lot of roommates. No, I don't think you I think you talk in your sleep and you tell secrets in your sleep. And he says, by the way, was there ever a Barbie movie like this? Where Barbie, and he goes, we're not here to talk about Barbie. We're here to talk about you. You think you're so great. And he goes, no, I don't think I'm that great. Oh, you're different. You have, you have advanced capabilities. Oh, no, I'm capable. I never said I had advanced capabilities. Yeah, you only want to associate with people with advanced capabilities. Yeah, no, I didn't say that. Well, I'm sure that you told the secrets in your sleep. So he goes, and then he says, is that a song? He goes, you're going to be singing to me. Take him to a private room. And then they go to take him to a private room, through the main promenade. And Commander Sisko's there. He says, what are you doing? They're taking Julian to a private room. Across the main promenade? That's done intentionally. They say, we're just doing what we're supposed to do. And he goes, well, I don't like it. And they say, understood, Cisco, but... So then he goes to the private room section, kind of like a hotel, I think, and his friend's not even there. Somebody else is working. And he says, okay, great. And there's definitely a lot of assistance to the Solon. So then they bring him to his private room. And they're not, they say, all of us, our secrets have been told by people in their sleep. And he goes, but I don't tell secrets in my sleep. And they go, well, our lives have been impacted by people that do so, people like you. And he goes, but I don't talk in my sleep. I don't know what you're talking about. And they even take away his, his Starfleet badge, communicator badge thing. And he goes in his room, good act break to think about it. And then Commander Sisko comes in to visit him in his private, in the the common area between the private rooms. He says, "I want 10 minutes alone now." And they say, "Fine." And he says, "Julian, what's going on, man? We looked into this guy, and yeah, he's got a thing about secrets and sleep and Dominion. He thinks that the Dominion people tell secrets, get people to do that." And Julian goes, "I don't know." And then Solon's standing there. He goes, "Yeah, I don't like secret tellers, especially secrets in their sleep or the Dominion. And yeah, I'm here to take care of all that because that's my job." And Sisko goes, "I think you take your job too seriously." And he goes, "No, I take it seriously enough." And he goes, "What do you want, Sisko?" And Sisko goes to talk to one of my crew members, but he goes, no talking. He goes, "I to handle all the talking." And this is a great one. Very great boundaries. Again, you could see why the people that are running that bubble to the top of Starfleet are the best, because he just says, "Sloan, do you have orders that say I'm not in charge of my space station? Like that you're in charge of the entire space station? Because there's only one person in charge of the space station, and that person has orders from Starfleet. So do you have those orders from Starfleet?" And the guy goes, "No." And he goes, "Okay, then I'm in command of the entire space station. So if I want to talk to Doc Bashir, I will. And I'm going to be sitting in on everything from now on, because I don't like this. I don't like what's happening or your methods. So hit the road, Solon." So Solon goes, "I'll hit the road when I feel like it, which is right now." But then Sisko turns back and he says, "Thanks." And he goes, "Yeah, we'll get this figured out. But don't worry about it." Then they go back to another meeting like the next day about Bopak 3 and him and O'Brien. This is with Solon and Sisko. Yeah, that was when you met up with some Jem'Hadar? Like you visited them? No. You and O'Brien, right? You were visiting them. You're out on a lark. No, we weren't out on a lark. We were doing work. And yeah, then we noticed them, but then we noticed that they needed help. So we helped them. And Siko, I'm in the helping business. Oh, so you felt bad for them? No. They needed help, so I gave them help. And then Sisko's like, "You're acting like this is this has to do with the Dominion, aiding the Dominion. You're just helping people that needed help from a carer." And then the guy's like, "Yeah, people that was like with advanced intelligence or whatever. Is that a thing? You've been, you love people with advanced intelligence?" And he says, "Well, I understand them, and I want to help some people assimilate better into into social groups, and tell them about the Dominion and Starfleet's plans as small talk. No, engage with them." And it worked, by the way. Oh, also you wanted Starfleet to give up, give them in the plans, right? And to give up with outperforming the Dominion, surrendering in any kind of games against the Dominion. Well, yeah, no, I said they were asking blue sky brainstorm. I said, "Here's a blue sky idea. Don't try to win." Worked for, and then he says, "Sisko, would you recommend that course of action?" He goes, No, nobody's perfect. Yeah, Dr. Bashir has some questionable problem-solving skills. And he's not perfect. He doesn't have a history of being perfect. But what does that have to do with any of this stuff? And he even says that's a circular argument because he goes, if you're not perfect, you're probably telling secrets to the Dominion. Absolutely not. That's a circular argument. This is a pattern of behavior. Imperfection? We're all imperfect, bud. Someone with advanced intelligence is then advanced in their imperfection, and it's intentional imperfection. Step back and think about it. He didn't even tell you. When he applied for the job, he was imperfect on his application. And Cisco almost rolls his eyes. And then when he had a job interview with you, he was, telling some untruths. And he goes, yeah, but he told me that he did that. And then the guy's like, yeah, because you already got, everybody knew about it. It's the only reason he told you. And then he says, Julian, why were you honest with your captain? Because you felt bad or because you got caught? Oh, because I got caught. Yeah. Yeah. So if you didn't get caught, would you have told him that you'd changed stuff in your interview? And you just get a long look on his face as he considers the answer. Yeah, I'm imperfect. And he says, I don't know. The greatest answer in the history of Starfleet. Most confident answer. I don't know. And then he just sits there. Then we go back to his private room. He's definitely feeling down. Cisco's like sighing. He says, oh, man, this is not great. That guy's really argumentative. That guy really has a lot of points to make. You haven't always been honest. But let's put that behind us for now. We got to figure out what to do. And Julian says, whatever I say, the guy puts it back on me. I mean, he keeps saying that I'm either not telling the truth or I don't remember talking in my sleep. And then Cisco says, okay, but is it possible that you've talked in your sleep, but it's only no one's ever heard you other than the people from the Dominion that wanted to hear you? Is that possible? And he goes, I guess, but I don't think it's the case. I don't believe it's the case. I'm not lying to you right now. And Cisco goes, I don't think you're lying, but, and he goes, never mind, just go to bed. And I think this is a key moment when you look back at what I think is the reveal at the end of the episode of Cisco trying to introduce doubt with Julian. Or he's just experiencing honest doubt, depending on your what I understand in the end. But then Julian's sleeping, and then he gets woken up again. And they say, by the way, if we're not in command of this ship, we're going to take you to a ship where I am in charge. Starbase 53. Does Cisco know about this? Nope, he doesn't need to know. I do, you can't do this, Solon. Oh, I can do whatever I want. 66715, Starfleet Special Order. 66715 or whatever. What is it? 66715, yeah. I can do whatever I want. And if you're telling secrets, I need to get to the bottom of it. And I'm not Barbie. And he goes, what does that even mean? And you don't have a Bibble. And Julian goes, I don't even think you've seen Barbie. Have you seen have you seen A Mermaid's Tale or A Mermaid's Tale 2? And he goes, well, if you want to watch some Barbie movies, I don't think we have them on our pads for you to watch them. So you won't be entertained while we fly to the next destination in the shuttle. And Julian goes, if that iPad has no Barbie films, animated films on there, keep it then. Then all of a sudden he beams out, which is really weird. And this was it took me a while to understand what was happening. At first I thought it was like his, like O'Brien. And then he meets this guy, Wei-Un or something, who says, what's up, bud? It's so glad to have you back with the Dominion. Got you just in time. So thanks for all those secrets you told us in your sleep. You're safe here with us. You know, did they talk to you sternly? And he's like, what? Well, did they talk to you sternly from telling us all your secrets when you were sleeping? I didn't tell you any secrets while I was sleeping. I never slept in your presence before. No, but, you know, yeah, but we had a way to, like, listen to you sleeping. That's why it worked so well. But I had I went to I had multiple roommates. No one's ever told me I talk in my sleep. Yep, but you do. You talk to me in your sleep. Kind of like a fairy secret. You whispered it to me. And that's just the way it is. But you always forget it. We talk about it while you're sleeping. And then you say, don't worry, I'll keep telling you secrets to help the Dominion and not Starfleet. That's just the kind of guy you are, Julian. I mean, Starfleet can't win anyway, so you're on the winning side. You're just being rational, telling us your secrets in your sleep. And you gave us the information we needed. I mean, it's peace. Even if Starfleet loses, it's peace. You know, no more athletic competitions, dance competitions. It was the right thing to do. Saves a lot of resources and time. And that's what your job is, right? Because somebody could get a bumpy bump. And you'll be remembered. The great sleeping whisperer. History will remember you. Now, your friends at Starfleet won't be happy, but we will. What a visionary. Talking, telling secrets in your sleep. The greatest hero, the Dominion. He goes, I don't remember any of this. This doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah, of course you don't want to remember because you shouldn't have done it. But yeah, you did. So that's great news. Why don't you have some scones? We got scones for you, not gack. And red leaf tea, jam. This is what I used to feed you before bed. And I'd say, if you tell me secrets in your sleep, you'll get scones. That was one of the ways I taught you. Sensory details are key. You anticipating the scones helped you tell the secrets in your sleep. And he's even more confused, like, what? That's not possible. And they kind of looks at the scones. It's like, do you remember our scone talks? Scone secrets, Scone Secret Club forever. And he's staring at the scones. He goes, no. This is not, I don't remember because it never happened. Don't work for the Dominion. I don't tell secrets in my sleep. I don't talk in my sleep. And the guy's like, we were almost there. And Julian almost figures it out, not quite. He goes, wait a second. Why are you so, if you already know the secrets, why are you so intent on connecting the dots? Do I need to connect the dots if, it doesn't make any sense at all. Like, if you already have the secrets, you don't need to know if I actually did it or not. Are you sure you're not working with Sloan? Is Sloan the one telling secrets to the Dominion? And then they say, wait a second, we got a Starfleet ship approaching. Cisco's in charge. And Cisco says, yippee-ki-yay, we're coming to pick you up. And they say, don't worry about Cisco. We'll talk to you later about your scones. You don't got to worry about it. And all of a sudden, who comes through the door, or who energizes in, but Worf and somebody else that seems like very effective. And they say, Julian, man, he bumped his elbow, but they say, hey, let's go. We're going to go back to the ship, to Defiant. They're the away team from the Defiant. So they go back to the Defiant, which is Cisco's commander of that ship. And he goes, so the Dominion took you out of your private room? And Julian goes, yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, but you won't believe it. And he goes, well, tell me why. Well, he was asking me the same questions as Sloan. He goes, well, that's not reasonable. And he goes, it is. They wanted to convince me that I told secrets in my sleep, but I think it's Sloan. And Cisco says, I don't think you should be blaming anybody. And he goes, I'm not blaming, I'm explaining. There's just some serious confusion. And then Worf goes, I don't believe you, secret teller. And then Cisco goes, yeah, neither do I. You tell secrets. And he goes, you need to go to a room. And then no one believes me. Then he goes up to Miles. Miles, do you believe me? And Miles is like, turns around fast. He goes, son, is your shoulder okay? And he goes, yeah, my shoulder's okay. He goes, my shoulder? Well, he goes, yeah, when we were playing paddleball. Oh, yeah, paddleball? It's fine. And then Julian goes, we didn't play paddleball. You were paddling in the holosuite. And even though he goes, you're not Miles. This whole thing's an illusion. You're not Captain Cisco. He'd like listen. He's a good listener. And he's not as stern as this version of Cisco. This whole thing's not real. Then everybody pauses. And then he's in the holosuite with Solon, who's in a new outfit. All like a black latex outfit. He goes, yep, none of it was real, bud. Congratulations, you passed our test. You didn't tell any secrets in your sleep to the Dominion. And he goes, yeah, I've been telling you that for like hours. Yeah, but I had to be sure. He goes, we just got to check one more thing on your data bank. And he goes, no. And they go, yeah, we do need to check one more thing on your data bank. And he goes, we're all dressed in these black spandex suits. We're going to read your data bank. And he goes, so you don't just believe me? Well, we believe you. We just want to double check that we can believe you. Neurosynaptic, neuroelectric, boogie woogie. And I'll just check the findings, confirm what we already know. You don't talk in your sleep. It was some sort of thing that would listen while you sleep to see if he was talking. He goes, yeah, I told you I never talk to my sleep. Maybe once, but I don't talk to tell secrets or, maybe I said, somebody's first name or something. And they go, okay, let me just double check. This thing will listen to all the audio instantly. And yeah, they say the only thing you said in the last 3 years is the name of your teddy bear. That's a good sign. And he goes, okay, good. Well, glad you trust me now. Are you sure that's black spandex? Because it kind of looks more like some sort of rubber substitute. And must be warm in there. And he goes, I don't even know if you still believe me. And they go, yeah, well, I would have, if you didn't figure out that Miles thing, we probably would have tried to still get you to admit to talking in your sleep, just for fun. And he goes, that was a lot of work. So we let you sleep for an hour and then we brought you over here. And he goes, yeah, no food, no sleep. That's not very pleasant. He goes, yeah, well, we're just here to do our jobs. Oh, who are you? What's your job exactly? Who do you work for? Starfleet. Who do you think? Federation? Heard of them? Yeah, but I don't believe you because you don't seem to be caring or compassionate or humanist. Oh, we're in the non-humanist department of Starfleet. Wait, there's no non-humanist department. It's called Section 31. Keeps a low profile. That way, we could, Section 31's, trying to find secret tellers and things like that. And, yeah, we do as we wish. And, we're kind of contrarians to the whole Starfleet thing. All the values of Starfleet, we're contrarians. That's our job. And Julian goes, it doesn't make any sense. Why would they have a contrarian department? Oh, well, it helps keep everything, it's, we're autonomous. Who are you authorized? Original Starfleet Charter, Section 31. It was written in invisible ink 200 years ago, but so for 200 years, you've had a contrarian department, accountable to nobody. And he goes, yeah, you sound like a bad thing, but you're contrarian, a bit of a contrarian, Julian. Well, you just base it on your own, whatever you think's contrarian to the Starfleet, because, it takes a certain personality who can sublimate their own ambition to the best interests of the Federation by being contrarian to it. You have all the you'd make a good person here in Section 31. He goes, a few minutes ago, you were saying I told secrets in my sleep. Because, yeah, but you're intelligent, resourceful. You're fascinated by, I've seen you in Quark's holosuites. We're on the same team, Julian. We're just on the opposite team to be on the same team. We love the Federation and the principles we we're contrarian to. And Julian goes, I don't believe this logic at all makes any sense to anyone ever. And he goes, there you go. There's your you're being contrarian to me. And he goes, you know how many people we've helped? How many people have you helped? Hundreds, maybe? We've helped a lot of people, pretty much everybody in the history of the world, and the universe, and Starfleet and Federation. So I don't know how many people that is in the past 200 years, but all of them. So technically we're more valuable than you and everybody, all through contrarianism. And, every once in a while, this situation warrants our bad ideas. I think in time you'll agree with me. And Julian says, I wouldn't wait for it. All right, well, just consider it. Consider working with us. And he goes, well, what if I tell everybody about it? And the guy goes, I don't care. He goes, you're going to head back to your ship now. And you'll wake back up, and then you'll have a meeting with everybody. And Cisco will be like, and everybody will go over this. Okay, they always thought it was you. They weren't honest with us, but we have no idea who they really are. Yeah. And do they even exist, Captain? Section 31? They don't exist and they don't not exist, according to what I could find out. It's complicated. So, yeah. Interesting. So they don't exist and they don't not exist. What does that mean? I asked them and they said they'd get back to me. Well, that doesn't mean, I can't believe the Federation would do this. And somebody else says, yeah, no, this is the kind of thing contrary. Everybody's Romulans have Obsidian Order. Shouldn't we keep our principles and not be contrary to our principles if they're good principles? And they say, maybe we should keep looking into this, and see if Section 31 has been around and what else they're up to. And they said, well, we'll never find them. And well, how would we track them down? Cisco goes, we'll wait for them to come recruit Julian. Sloan's going to come back. I know he will. You turned him down. He really wants you. So next time he asks you to join up, Julian, you will. And we'll get to the bottom of this, because we're humanists. We're not contrary to that. This will be like, maybe you should rewatch Barbie: A Fairy Secret a few times to get some ideas of how to handle it. And Julian just blinks his eyes and says, do I know a secret? Whoa, I do. And then the episode comes to an end and everybody gets ready for bed, gets comfortable, and drifts off and goes to sleep. Good night, everybody. All right, buddy, this is Scoots with a tuck you in message about, I've been asking people when they sign up to support the show, why? Like, what is the biggest reason someone supports the show? So I don't know if you want to do this. You could put yourself in their shoes. I'm going to walk you through what some people have said, the kind of recurring themes. And maybe if you put yourself in their shoes, maybe you're the one tonight that'll support the show. So here's how it goes normally. This is the most popular kind of response. First they say, yeah, no, Scooter was talking to me. I am the one who can support the show and who wants to. I've just been putting it off or thinking someone else is going to do it or tuning it out. But yeah, I'm the one. And I remember what my life was like, what my bedtime was like before I found Sleep With Me. I remember that, and I didn't like it. And I don't want to go back to that. And I know, just like Scooter says, the show can't exist unless people like me support it. If I don't support it, or someone doesn't support it for me, the show won't be here. And I don't want that either. And then what they always do, and they tell me about this, the people that actually have been signed up lately, they go right now. So if this is you, go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus right now. And sign up, and then worry about the bonus content tomorrow. Because if you put it off, you will put it off for years. But as soon as you sign up, you could have that relief. You see, I'm a part of this now. I'm a part of what's keeping this show going. I'm a part of this bedtime relief for me. Now I don't got to worry about whether the show's going to be around or not, and for other people too. And that feels pretty nice. A lot better than what it used to be like. So thanks. Thanks for supporting the show. And when you sign up, you get a video from me saying just that. The second one kind of goes very similarly. And it does take hearing me ask 30, 40, 50 times that suddenly something clicks and it's like, man, this show, Scooters really needs some support here. I didn't realize it just clicks at some point. This podcast needs people to support it to exist. And I am so happy this is in the world. It changed my relationship with sleep like nothing else had. There's not something that could replace this. And if Scooter stopped narrating the show or making the show, I would really miss him. Even if it was somebody else or a different company making the podcast, I would miss this version of Sleep With Me if it was gone a lot. Because I like it. I love it. And it makes my life better. I really enjoy it. And I don't want to go without it. And I do know now it needs my support right now. And then right now, maybe you're the one. They go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. They sign up. They set up the bonus content a day or two from now when I send out the follow-up welcome video and stuff like that. But then they're like, wow, I get a video from Scoots when I sign up. Man, maybe now I feel closer to this show. I feel really good because I've done my part. I don't got to worry about it anymore. I was putting it off. I put it off for 3-4 years. That's a common refrain lately. And I'm glad it clicked, and I'm glad to be a part of this thing. So if that's you, I hope it is. You can support the show. You're in a position to, and you will right now because you'll miss it if it's gone. Don't wait. sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. And the next one kind of looks something like, okay, put yourself in this person's shoes. Maybe this is you. Maybe you only use the show when you need it, or maybe you use the show pretty often, but you're like, finally, I found something that makes my relationship with bedtime better. I tried all this other stuff. I paid for a lot of stuff, but Sleep With Me has made my nights better, and therefore my days are better. And I don't want to go back to what it was like before the show was a part of my life. So me paying $120, $240, $60 a year, like Scoots is serious. That's another thing they realize. My $60 a year will change the future of the podcast. My $60 a year is a really big deal to the show and to Scooter and to keeping it going. So I'm going to go right now and support the show at sleepandmakepodcast.com/plus. And they do that right now when it clicks. And then suddenly after they do it, they feel good. And then they feel even better when I send them a thank you video. Because then I say, hey, what made you sign up to support the show? Because it changed my life. Because it did this for me. It helped me in this way. Because I don't want to think about not having the podcast in my life. Or the podcast has helped me through these major things in my life. And I want it to be around the next time something else comes up. If that's you, you can sign up at sleepandmakepodcast.com/plus. But don't put it off, because if you're like most people, you'll put it off for 2 or 3 years. And we could really use your support tonight. So think about it. Thanks.